They gawked at her wounds like badges they hadn't fought for. The lounge went dead silent the second Emily Carter walked in. At 42, she was battle-hardened, her burn scars twisting across her jaw like echoes of a forgotten war. She didn't belong here, not in this top-tier boot camp, not surrounded by guys young enough to be her sons, not sitting solo every lunch like some forgotten vet with a clipboard. Lieutenant Ryan Hayes lounged in his seat, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Hey, Emily, another smoke break gone wrong?" The room exploded in snickers. She didn't flinch, didn't snap back, didn't have to. What they didn't know, what nobody knew, was why Brass had dragged her out of retirement after all this time, and why she wore that faint grin amid their jeers. "Looks like she hugged a bonfire too tight," Hayes muttered, loud enough for his crew, tracing an imaginary line down his smooth face to mimic her scars. His buddies howled. Emily's fingers shook just a bit around her coffee mug, but she stared at her tray, unyielding. The mockery swelled, fueled by her quiet, like sparks on tinder. Slowly, she set down her mug, packed her stuff with steady hands, and strode out poised, unflinching. Something in her walk, that unbreakable poise, choked the youngest trainer's laugh mid-breath. But sometimes the silent ones pack the fiercest storm. What would you do if your hardest battles became punchlines for cowards? Emily Carter's tale didn't start in that sterile lounge, but on the dusty ranches of rural Texas, where scarcity built grit and struggle hammered resolve. At 18, she'd swapped endless skies for the rigid promise of the Marines, fleeing a life scripted in welfare checks and eviction slips. The Corps gave more than Cass hit, gave direction. Over 15 grueling years, she'd climbed ranks rigged against her, staring down bias with the same steely focus she brought to ops. Her handle, Ghost 27, wasn't flair. It was earned 27 high-priority takedowns across wars most folks never knew existed. The scars hit in the Iraqi sands during what should have been her last tour. An IED ripped through her patrol on a scorched road near Baghdad in 2020. The blast erased her squad in a flash of fury and fragments. 6 lives snuffed out. Emily alone crawled from the inferno, half her face charred, her soul burdened beyond repair. Among the fallen was David Lee, her fiancé and partner in the field, whose band she still hid under her plane trainer's shirt. Reports called her survival a godsend. She called it a nightmare, especially on nights when David's voice cut through the fire in her dreams. Retirement wasn't optional, it was defeat. The operator who'd orchestrated hits across borders now drilled raw recruits in entry-level tactics at a Florida coastal base. She'd picked invisibility on purpose, stashing her awards in a locker and wiping her online trail. Her place was bare practical, hinting at nothing of her legend. An old SUV got her to work, where she showed kids proper form and focus, never letting on she could nail a nickel at 600 yards blind. Her only giveaway? A tiny tattoo on her left arm, XXVI in stark Roman script. Inked in Italy after her 20th confirmed, back when tallies trumped the ghosts. Now, it warned and reminded, though her peers were clueless. Her creed, forged in grief, true power skips the spotlight. She embodied it, acing quals while downplaying her edge. When trainers bragged ops, she stayed mum. When they swapped scars, she slipped away. The Emily Carter who'd been the Corps' deadliest woman had vanished, leaving a subdued coach who lunched alone and returned to a hollow home haunted by 6 specters. By week 3, the taunts were ritual. Hayes turned her existence into his show, spinning fresh barbs with twisted glee. Burnout was the mildest slur. Toasted and meltdown followed, slung with the venom of a man untouched by real hurt. His lackeys, ambitious juniors chasing favor, echoed every dig. In briefings, Hayes probed her creds with fake pity. Sure she's stable enough for drills? Trauma messes with the head. The jab Lingereth implied her mishap had fried her brain too. The chain of command shielded bullies like him. Hayes' dad, a brass with DC ties, loomed over the base's ops. Gripes vanished into voids while budgets rolled in. Her boss, Lieutenant Colonel Harris, pulled her aside post her second complaint. "Carter, keep low," he muttered, avoiding her gaze. "This is the life thick skins required." HR brushed it off as clashes, stressing team unity. Message received, suck it up or ship out. Tiny slips cracked her mask. Master Sergeant Thomas Reed, the base's grizzled vet with Korea scars, spotted her habit-scanning entries, never turning her back on voids. Her demos were spot-on basic, but he caught the tweaks from real firefights, not sims. In talks, jargon leaked. Threat lock, over-aim, kill zones before she simplified. Recruits sensed the depth in this scarred train-era skill beyond her rank. The snap came masked as a joke. Hayes' gang grabbed poppers, kid stuff for holidays. They timed it as she passed the depot, lighting and lobbing them. The cracks hurled her to cover behind a barrier, body flowing like drilled instinct. For a heartbeat, she was back in Baghdad, the IED's boom overriding the pops. Snapping back, she crouched defensive, hands groping for a ghost rifle, while Hayes' crew wheezed in hysterics. That evening, solo in her sparse digs, Emily eyed the photos stashed in her drawer. 6 grins beamed back Bravo squad, snap days pre-blast. David slung an arm over her, clueless of the end. Lopez, Jenkins, Kim, Novak, Ellis rounded them, cocky as elite survivors. She fingered their faces, recalling laughs, Jenkins' off-tune whistles on stakeouts. The void rang with loss. She grabbed a box, started packing. Time to vanish for good. Some backwater where scars drew no stairs. Dawn brought shock. Colonel Elena Ramirez's unannounced audit. At 60, she bore the aura of a leader who'd earned stripes in the trenches, not boardrooms. Her sharp eyes scanned the lineup, pausing on Emily in the rear recognition flickering like a flare. Through routines, Ramirez's focus drifted to the scarred trainer's rigid stance. Demo time rolled. Instructors showed styles. Emily aimed for rote basics, but handling the gear, decades of reflex betrayed her. Posture shifted for mobility, not static. Shots clustered lethal tight, not just good surgical, life or death honed. Ramirez approached post-ceasefire, zeroing on the tattoo. 27. Trainer Carter, she murmured. Private chat. They stepped aside, Hayes fuming at the spotlight theft. Alone, Ramirez's facade cracked to reverence. Ghost 27. Hunted you for years. Emily tensed, silent. Ramirez pressed. DOD marked you Kia post-Baghdad. We've pushed your Silver Star posthumously. Your intel thwarted 4 strikes on U.S. Soil saved 1,500 lives, easy. I'm just a fundamentals coach, Colonel. Wrong person. But Ramirez knew every file. The saga of the Marines' top female ghost. Those marks aren't from a slip-up, are they? You dove back into the blaze for those locals after the hit. Face melting, you laid suppressive for evac. For kids owe you their breath. Reckoning peaked. Show M real skill. Ramirez boomed for all. Hayes surged. Ma'am, Carter's entry level. Let an elite handle. Ramirez's glare could melt steel. Hayes, you'll learn. Stand down. Softer to Emily. I get the hideout, but your crew Lee, Lopez, Jenkins, Kim, Novak, Ellis died for meaning. Honor that. Reveal yourself. Emily froze 10 beats, tension thick as fog. Peers fidgeted, sensing quake. She nodded resigned, resolved. Striding to the line, her vibe flipped, shoulders squared, meekness gone. Pure predator unleashed. What unfolded became legend. Basics first, shots drilled 1 hole. Then ranges stretched 400, 500, 600 yards. Precision held, hits not body but vital. She shredded movers with minimal waste, gun like limb. Finale, chaos setup mixed threats, hidden, erratic. Squad-level nightmare. Solo, under 2 minutes, every one dropped single shot. Casing clinked. She safed, turned. Silence reigned, wind whispering palms. Hayes paled, gaping fish-like. Ramirez addressed. Meet Emily Carter, Ghost 27. 27 elites down in 15 years elite ops. Her data stopped 4 city hits 1, 500 plus saved. Pause. Those scars you ridiculed? Earn yanking 4 Iraqi kids from flames under hail, post-ID wiping her team. 40% burns, still covered, evac. Truth crushed. Mockers looked sick. Hayes shrank, empire crumbling. Ramirez scorched. She's given more than you dream, not harassed by desk jockeys who've dodged real rounds. To Hayes, chat with your old man incoming. Your gig here's toast. But Emily stunned. No gloat, no payback. She dipped head to Ramirez, headed out. Hayes blurted apologies. Carter a millisori. Didn't know. She halted, back turned. Deeds over words, Lieutenant. Always. Walked on, leaving him wrecked. Ramirez caught her lot side, sun baking asphalt. Advanced tactics lead pinch and fix, back pay, silver star bash. Emily sagged on her SUV. Respectfully, no symbol gig. Here for basics, prepping kids who need it. Ramirez eyed her, nodded. Deal, basics stay, but I route top potentials. No fanfare, just forging survivors. Send the dedicated, Colonel not climbers. One's grasping homecoming's the win. Handshake sealed. Hayes vanished to logistics desk in days, no fuss. Base shifted, cruelty faded, self-checks rose. Emily resumed basics to wrapped rooms. Pupils hunted wisdom in her tips. She wove tactics, slags its mantra, leverage beats brute. Strugglers sought her post hours. She welcomed true seekers. 3 weeks on, she addressed a hall at Ramirez's nudge. We forge guardians, not crush souls. She started, scars lit soft. Everyone here serves, shields. Respect, that looks be damned. Voice cracked, lost my squad in Iraq. 6 best, vaporized. They fell trusting impact. Mockery dishonors them all who've paid ultimate. She shared David's gear check quirk, saved hides. Build yours. Ramirez later handed a plaque box. Unit bar, 7 etched names. Yours 2 together. Emily gripped it, wordless. Months flowed. Her ripple swelled. Students topped evals, tactics sharp. Peers copied, dropouts dipped, scores soared. Ramirez pushed DC. Spot. Emily declined. War's done. Service is here, student by student. Heroes skip, headlines prep, lives right. Seasons turned. Florida, humidity eased. Pre-dawn. She'd honed skills alone, not for ghost glory, but tribute. Day brought recruits like Sophia Turner, 19, awkward with gear. Shots wild. Emily guided. Partner the tool, not battle it. Tweaks, bullseye. Sophia beamed. Emily grinned faint. Word spread. Scarred Florida coach turned duds to aces. Transfers poured. She took all. Emails trickled. Your tip saved my leverage one. Filed as calling. By year mark, base reborn. Competition via uplift, chats on methods. Scars. Badge of endurance. Evenings, she'd chat read, sharing silences vets know. You remade this, he said. She shrugged, people shift. I nudged why. Final frame, sun-angled range. Emily with Sophia, now ace. Others watched learning patience, respect. Deploying soon, Sophia said. Emily, trust prep. Team first. Return. Rest noise. Pull back. Base alive with quiet strength, competent sand show. Emily amid, illuminating unseen scars aglow, tattoo XXVI, flashing in demo. Victory in prep, not pomp. Honor skips cheers, strength whispers. Greatest wins? Invisible, in lives readied, souls bolstered, cultures flipped. Quiet thunder echoes longest. What if military culture protects bullies over heroes fair or flawed? Should hidden sacrifices demand respect or earn it silently? Would you confront mockery or let truth explode? Drop thoughts below debate, like if it hit home. Subscribe for more raw tales that challenge norms.